Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're breaking down a seriously fascinating source called the 10 Pillars of Wealth. We're going to systematically unpack 10 absolutely crucial money habits that literally have the power to transform your financial future. If you've ever felt like wealth is just out of reach, or maybe like it's some exclusive club that you don't have the password to, well, get ready. We're about to demystify the whole shebang and put financial control firmly right back in your hands. So, have you ever wondered why some people manage to build massive wealth even though their salaries never even come close to the $1 million mark? It's a huge, incredibly common misconception that you need a massive income to get rich. We're going to completely debunk that myth today because the data and the real-world results, they show a completely different story. Okay, let's dive into this. The absolute truth here is that becoming rich isn't about relying on luck at all. I mean, winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune, that's incredibly rare. True wealth is actually the direct byproduct of consistent, manageable daily habits. The wealthy don't just stumble into success. They engineer it step by step, day by day, by making smart, repeatable choices. To make this all really easy to digest, we've organized these 10 habits from our source into a 4-part masterclass. 1. Laying your financial foundation. 2. Protecting your money. 3. The growth engine. And 4. The millionaire mindset. Let's start right off with phase 1, laying your financial foundation. Because before we can build a towering skyscraper of wealth, we have to pour the concrete, right? We need to establish absolute control over the money you already have right now. Everything starts here with habit 10, setting clear financial goals. And I mean actually writing them down. Look at these specific examples from our source material. Things like saving $10,000, buying a home, becoming completely debt-free, or retiring comfortably. Pinpointing exactly what you're aiming for isn't just some feel-good exercise. It's the actual engine that keeps you motivated to make better financial choices every single day. Vague desires produce vague results, but clear goals, they produce wealth. And this brilliantly illustrates habits 3, following a budget. The 50-30-20 rule is a fantastic, simple way to do this. You track your income and allocate exactly 50% for your absolute needs, 30% for your wants, and you dedicate a strict 20% to savings and investments. It's a really clear way to avoid overspending and guarantee that you're tracking every single penny. I want to pause on this incredibly powerful sentiment for a second. Read this with me. A budget gives every dollar a purpose. So many people think of budgeting as a restriction, kind of like a financial diet. But actually, scratch that. It's highly purposeful and empowering. It's you acting as the CEO of your own life, telling your money exactly what to do, rather than just staring at your bank account at the end of the month and wondering where on earth it all went. Which brings us right to habit 2. Live below your means. There is a very stark contrast between looking rich and actually being rich. A super common and frankly destructive habit is inflating your lifestyle every single time your income grows. You get a raise, you go buy a more expensive car. But the wealthy do the exact opposite. They deliberately avoid those unnecessary expenses and focus all that extra income on building long-term wealth rather than just showing off what they currently earn. Now that our foundation is set, let's move to phase 2, protecting your money. Now, we need to shift our focus to building a massive defensive moat around your finances. Life is wildly unpredictable, and you really need a system in place to survive the unexpected. This number right here is your armor, 3 to 6. Habit 5 is all about building an emergency fund. And the golden rule here is saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Medical emergencies, unexpected car repairs, a sudden job loss, they can happen at literally any time. This fund is your financial shield. It gives you pure peace of mind when life throws a curveball, ensuring you don't have to go into debt just to survive a bad month. And speaking of debt, protecting your money also means habit 4, avoiding bad debt. Now, the source makes a really important distinction here. Not all debt is bad, but high-interest credit card debt will absolutely destroy your finances if you let it. You must always pay your bills on time. The core takeaway? Use debt wisely, as a tool, not emotionally, to fund impulsive purchases. Okay, you've established control, you've built your defenses, now for phase 3, the growth engine. This is where things get really exciting, folks. These are the active mechanisms of wealth creation where you learn to actually multiply the money you've successfully protected. Now, what's really interesting about this is the percentage, 10 to 20%. This represents habit 1, pay yourself first. Most people spend their paycheck on bills and lifestyle, and then they try to save whatever happens to be left over. The wealthy, however, completely flip that script. They automatically save or invest 10 to 20% of their income the absolute second they receive it, prioritizing their future wealth over their present spending. Let this vivid metaphor from the source material really sink in. Treat your savings like a monthly bill that must always be paid. If you reframe how you look at savings, elevating it to the status of a mandatory, non-negotiable expense, just like your rent or your mortgage, you guarantee your wealth continues to grow month after month without fail. Next up in the growth engine is Habit 6, invest early. There was 3 simple steps to this. 1, start with what you have. 2, add small monthly investments. And 3, harness compound growth over time. You see, time is your absolute greatest advantage in investing. You really shouldn't wait for the perfect time to start or wait until you have some massive lump sum. Start right now, because those small amounts compound on themselves and become remarkably large over the years. To supercharge that growth, we apply Habit 8, create multiple income streams. Relying solely on one single source of income is, well, it's inherently risky. Successful people diversify. That can mean side businesses, additional investments, rental income, or generating online income. Even a modest side hustle, we're talking just a few extra hours a week, can make a massive, transformative difference in your wealth accumulation over a long period. Let's move to our final section and see how this builds into phase 4, the millionaire mindset. You've got the mechanics down. You know how to save, protect, and grow. But sustaining that wealth requires a very specific psychology to stay the course through all the market ups and downs.
So the crucial point is Habit 7, keep learning. Financial education is arguably one of the greatest investments you will ever make. Reading books, watching educational explainers just like this one, and constantly learning about saving, investing, and taxes, it directly leads to better, sharper financial decisions. Simply put, the more you learn, the more you earn. And all that education reinforces Habit 9, think long-term. You really have to stop chasing quick money. Lasting wealth happens through small, smart decisions made in days, which aggregate into steady progress over months and eventually yield huge, life-changing results over years. Building true wealth demands incredible patience and consistency. Building wealth doesn't happen magically overnight. It happens through these exact smart habits repeated every single day. So as we wrap up our explainer of these 10 pillars, I want to leave you with this provocative, actionable thought. Which of these smart money habits are you going to start with today to change your financial future? Remember, adding just one of these habits today, literally just one, can drastically alter the trajectory of your life in just a few short years. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one, start today, and watch your financial foundation thrive. Thanks for learning with us today.